Hey, what's up YouTube? thyAshes here bringing you another video, and today we are going to talk about matchmaking, what it could be, how it should be, and why it's not in Gears of War 4. So in front of me I have the screen for the website of Riot Games, where they talk about how matchmaking for the game League of Legends works. And the reason that I'm using League of Legends as an example is because, as most of you know, I am from League of Legends. I know League of Legends the best out of any other game that I've I guess participated in, except for Gears of War. And so I think that this page will show as a good example, even though that League of Legends matchmaking is not perfect, it shows for a good example as to why or how rather matchmaking should work in any kind of competitive game, and why or how it could be applied to Gears of War is what we're going to talk about. So the first thing that I want to show is that obviously the matchmaking and the priorities of the system are listed here, nice and open. Their goal is to protect new players, create fair and competitive matches, and makes games less toxic. Now, the way they do this is by having you match up against people that are, your own skill level. Basically allows you to, it protects new players because then you're not beating up on new players. And then it creates fair and competitive matches, obviously, because you're going to be playing against people who are of the same skill as you most of the time. And it makes the games less toxic because, the people who are beating up on the beginner players, if they have those beginner players on their team, they're going to be like raging really hard. So it's, yeah, that's a frowny face now. Almost looks like Dr. Disrespect. So, that's kind of what their goals are here. Now, moving further down, we have a big table of contents, and it basically takes us through all the sections of this page. The main thing that I want to talk about is this section right here. How does matchmaking work right now? How does it work right now? Well, first, the system places players in the appropriate pool. So basically, every account has an MMR, and you might have heard me talk about this on stream before, but this is your matchmaking rank. It's hard to write with this. Matchmaking rank. And so basically this is a number from like 1 through like, I don't know, let's just say like 5,000. It doesn't really matter what the limit is. You're just given a number based on your skill. And a lot of things go into this. A lot of things, your win-loss ratio can go into it. Your KD ratio can go into it. All of these things play into what rank you are. So let's say you're around 2,500. You're right in the middle, right? So the first thing it's going to do is going to see what rank you are in the strength. So if a player is queued alone, the strength is determined by your personal matchmaking rank. So that 2,500. If you're with other people, then it averages out. So if you're 2,500 and you're playing with 1,500 and a 2K, then your average is going to be what your MMR is for that group, which would be around 2K, I think. So your 2K is, if you're grouped with that 3, that's what you're going to be, and it's going to try to find people around that skill gap. So let's get rid of some of that off the screen. Then it determines your eligible opponents. Now, it does make a note here that there is a separate MMR for different queues. For example, League of Legends has ranked 5s. Which is, you have to group as 5 people. It has a flex queue, which allows you to group with up to 4 people. And then there's solo duo. So that's 1 to 2 people, and there's only allowed to be 1 duo per team, and that's basically how it works. So everybody's kind of on the same page. So then it determines your eligible opponents. Initially, the system will only match players with similar MMR. As time passes, the system will slowly broaden the MMR range as it considers acceptable. Now, a problem that comes up with this is that wait times are terrible sometimes, especially when you get up to the higher ranks. For example, in League, challenger players have to wait something like, it could be anywhere from like 25 minutes to like a whole hour for a game, and nobody wants to wait an hour just to play a game that could be, over in 20 minutes. It kind of sucks, but it's also the price you pay for a fair matchmaking system. So, is it worthwhile to have that wait? And how would that work to Gears? If we knew the numbers of players in Gears of War, maybe maybe it wouldn't be that bad, or maybe it'd be worse. You know, there's no way for us to really know. And then eventually the game builds a match when it finds enough people, so 10 people, or I guess 9 other people similar to your rank. So that's the important part, is that it builds the people based on all that information, based on all of the information, your MMR, your group MMR, everything, what queue you're in. It builds the game based off all of that. So that's how the matchmaking system works currently for League of Legends. Now, in Gears of War, I personally don't think, and there's no way for me to really confirm or deny, I couldn't really find anything when I was searching for it, but I also have to admittedly say I didn't search too deep into the forums in case there is a post somewhere out there by a developer specifically saying, similar to this structure, how the matchmaking system works for Gears of War. But for Gears of War 4 right now, we're a big question mark, because you can have a game where, like, I'll be Diamond, highest rank, and then I'll have a silver, a gold, and an onyx, which is the second highest rank. So, and then I could be against a team of like 5 diamonds, which doesn't really seem fair to me. The other issue that we see a lot is that we see the game basically not care in terms of if you're playing with a pre-made 5 or if you're playing by yourself. So you'll see things where, like, I solo queue, and then I have, you know, a 5-man pre-made on the other team. That shouldn't happen. That should not happen. There's no reason to put me in the same game as a team full of 5 people. So the issue is now that we are left with no idea what our matchmaking system really is, and the current system isn't even working. So there's no way for us to tell if something's gone wrong, if something's just bugged, because it's just kind of, we're kept in the dark about it, right? If we had a system like this, or even a post that said, hey, this is how the current system works, then, you know, maybe there'd be a better understanding for what we currently endure, but we don't have that. So us having some kind of structured post on the Gears of War 4 or the gears.gg website that says something like this would be very beneficial, because then we'd be able to say, like, okay, if we just go to gears.gg and we see this. So I would like to see that going forward into, you know, future patches and updates of Gears of War 4. The rest of the page basically talks about some other frequently asked questions and how it works. Now, League of Legends matchmaking has your hidden MMR, which I'm just going to put MMR, and then it has your rank, or your ELO is something that people call it. So these are two different things. Your MMR is your true matchmaking rank, as we said before. Oops. Match rank. And I'll put true. And this is what's displayed. So this could be a number value, and this could be like a color value, or a gem value, such as diamond. So we could say greater than 2,500 equals diamond, and less than 2,500 equals onyx. Very, very, very basic. Obviously, it doesn't work that way. That'd be 2 ranks, but very, very basic system. But there's no way in League to tell really your true MMR. It's kind of like a hidden rank. But it's still, this is what the game uses for its actual matchmaking. It doesn't use this public displayed rank. It uses the hidden one, because that is basically, like I said, the true number, the number that's used. It takes into account how you do in your matches and your wins and losses, or whatever the system takes into account, and that's what's just used for the matchmaking. It doesn't just go, oh, you're Onyx, you should play with other Onyx players. It goes, oh, you're this tier of Onyx. Because think about it, if you have, let's say, Onyx is basically a range, right? So you're either Onyx if you're greater than 1,000, or we'll say 100 elo, and you are then Diamond if you are 200, right? That's when you, let's just say that's when you hit Diamond MMR. right? So you guys know that these are MMRs. So in that 100, oh my lord, in that 100 to 200 range, any number between there, so 101 through 199 is considered Onyx ranked. So the player that's 101 Onyx is technically weaker than the player who's 199 Onyx, right? So that's why having a hidden MMR is important. And again, I don't know if we have this in Gears of War, but it's something that I would like to see implemented. So I know there's a lot more that I could talk about in terms of like the things that are on this page. If you're interested, the URL is right here. And you can just search matchmaking rank in League of Legends, or how does matchmaking work in League of Legends. But basically, I think this is an important system, and an important, even if we don't have the system, just an important example of the transparency that Riot Games has with their player base. And I would like to see something like this implemented into Gears of War, into the Gears of War website, so that we can see how matchmaking actually works and how I know I'm going to get matched up with the right people, or why I'm actually not getting matched up with the right people, as is the current state of Gears of War 4. So if you guys enjoyed this video, obviously, and I'm going to do a really bad rendition, but make sure to leave a thumbs. Oh my God. Okay. That's not even a thumbs up. Let's just make sure to leave a thumbs up, and the arrow down below, leave a like, and good Lord, such a thick font. And of course, as always, subscribe. And let me know in the comments down below, even further down, if you have any ideas or opinions on this whole topic, because I would be interesting to see, or I'd be interested to see what you think about matchmaking system, what your experiences are, if you would like to see these kind of things. Some people might not find this as interesting as I do, so let me know what you think down in the description or in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I really appreciate the support, and I will see you all in the next video.